Tick tock, tick tock. Welcome to the Heart Party. My name is Cinnamon Cooney. I am your art Sherpa. Joined with me today is my sweet husband John on the other mic.
Hi, how you doing?
He is going to be tracking us on the camera system and reading your comments live and adjusting on the fly as you're now seeing me be adjusted. That's not a robot. That's in real time. This is live. Definitely let him know how the sound and pictures are, camera views, all of that, because that's what he's there looking for. And also, he's there as your voice, speaking to you. This is part of a really cool collaboration, John.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's wickedly good. It's wicked.
I saw all the fun stuff in there. Oh,
it's wicked. So, if you'll remember back, we did a big-eyed Disney-inspired collab. Where we took Margaret Keane and Disney princesses and mashed them up with a bunch of my awesome YouTube friends. And we decided that was so much fun, we were going to come back and do the villains. And a bunch of new faces joined us, so there's new artists for you guys to discover. If you look down in the description, there's more information about this. We also have a hashtag that's in the description title, and we have a playlist. Playlist is in my description and in my iCard. So many ways to find the other artists. We gave you a little preview of some of the other artists that are happening. And some of them are some of your favorites. And I think this is a first-time collab for me and like this with me and Leanne.
Oh, yeah?
From Silver Creek Studios. So
oh,
it's kind of exciting. And some friends are coming back. And some are collaborators from Periscope. So I'm kind of pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney villains. I'm doing Hook.
Yeah, Hook. We have lots of. Let me see if my screens are working. Oh, go over here, push the button.
I'm looking
around. Look, there's some there.
There's some here. So I kind of posted this. This was the study I did, which is the idea I had about my Hook character. I was really into the relationship between the Crocodile and Captain Hook. And I thought it would be fun to do some watercolors because, sometimes we can do watercolors anytime. They're just a medium that we can have anytime. And especially, I feel like in kids' properties, things like Peter Pan, they're the ideal medium.
Yeah.
It's a feeling that I have.
It's a feeling
based on nothing.
Based on...
I just like it that way. So I'm showcasing this gorgeous handmade watercolor book. I love these. I haven't had one in a number of years. And I, to celebrate, I don't know what, I just decided to celebrate something.
Yeah.
I think I got inspired by Chuck Carson when he was like, get a new art material.
Yeah.
And I grabbed this because I thought it'd be fun to come into this book every once in a while and tell a beautiful watercolor story. In the description below is the materials list and Amazon affiliate links. If you're like, that book, I have to have it. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Because that's exactly how I felt about the book when I ran away with the last one from the shelf, practically fighting other people for it. Like, no, I need it.
You're like, this is my book.
Need it. I included a traceable. This one is actually traceable by me. So forgiveness.
Where is it?
And this is a printed out version. And I used a combo of a bigger croc here and my printed out version to get the really cool different sizes of the Crocodile to the Hook boat. But this will work on your 9.5 by 12 regular watercolor paper, or just most of your average art journals. And there's a link to that to the Pinterest page where the traceables are. So that's all the stuff you need.
Cool.
I'm painting the watercolor today. So I'm going to prime those. And I'm going to actually talk about how I do watercolors. Watercolors are really different than acrylics, John.
They are?
They are. I'm going to mist this. Always start out misting your watercolors. You could neatly and respectfully dab a little bit of water onto each little pan, each little space. This is just if you're doing the dry pan watercolors.
Yeah.
By the way, this makes those Crayola watercolors really work. If you do this little touch with your kids or just the regular craft ones at home, it really improves the quality of the watercolor. Pre-moistening it.
Really? Interesting.
Just a weird little trick that can make. And I'm just got Royal and Nickel. These are these little packs of brushes. I got their hair from Michael's.
Oh, nice.
And I think I have some Simply Simmons in here too.
Yeah.
I have a little grip. And then I also kind of grabbed the iron lock pen because I thought that was really cool. And some of this fluid. And that's all the materials I'm going to be using to get through this. I've got my watercolor pencils because I'm going to dedicate this particular piece.
Oh, yeah?
I'm gonna do it so lightly we can barely see it. But I'm going to dedicate this particular piece to Justin, Bella, and Danny, and all the other little brushes that are either right now going through some type of hospitalization or medical care, or just homesick.
Yeah.
So I hope you all feel better.
Yeah.
Just feel much, much better. So I'm going to write that really lightly so that it's going to disappear with my watercolor pencil. And then the other thing was, you know what? I thought I had a quote over here for Peter Pan, but my quote be missing.
Your quote's missing.
My quote's missing.
I'll go stunt hands around.
Yeah, you can send hands around. You could just Google good quote, or you guys could suggest a good Peter Pan quote. And we'll just put it in there because I definitely want to work a good quote in. I like adding words, especially in this type of watercolor. It's just unfathomably gone. Just quote Peter Pan. Maybe that's it. I see it. I like to have a good quote. Quotes are lovely. I'll put it in a little later.
All
right. So I'm so ready to do this today. I'm just ready to relax and paint.
Are you?
I'm going to grab this nice big wide wash right here. And I'm going to pre-moisten some areas of my paper. I haven't worked with this paper before. In general, though, in watercolor paper,
yeah,
what is wet... Ooh, but this really absorbs. This is interesting. And I feel like I need a sheet of paper between them.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, well. New materials.
You grab me some paper?
I think, yeah, just grab me a sheet of paper that I can put between these sheets.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be deterred. It's just going to... So what this is this is a heavy paper, but it's highly absorbent. So you can see it's softening and it's got a bleed through. And I just want to make sure that my next sheet of paper is not contaminated. I'm actually just using the leftover inks from other times I've mixed. I'm going to take my lighter blue here. And I've got this little plot of green. If you've never seen... And normally I would pre-wet this and have this blend in. But this paper is so absorbent... I'm going to adjust my mic up a little bit. The paper is so absorbent. Then I'm going to just have a mild panic attack on this live collab that I'm doing right now. I didn't want to do anything to the book before I was ready to use the book. You know what I should have done?
Nope.
What I totally could have done?
What could you have totally done?
We're going to compare this. I'm going to show you the difference if you had done this. I could have used a watercolor ground by Daniel Smith on this paper.
Oh, you could have.
And gotten complete control over what was happening. I'm going to pull a little of the green over here. Gotten complete control.
I see. I adjusted the overhead camera so that I could see those real faint lines. So it's a little dimmer than the other cameras.
And that would have allowed me to do some of the bleed work that I like to do.
Well, do you want to...
What?
We'll do some grounds next time.
Yeah, we're going to do grounds next time. We're going to go back in the book.
Yeah.
At some point. Now I have a compelling reason to go back in the book. I'm grabbing some dark blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm just looking for little washes of color. I'm going to pull this up. The thing about watercolor is what I don't paint on, I still have. So I will just carefully work my little ocean. I'm going to go lightest. I got a little befuddled here because this went a different direction than I expected it to go. But here's what the deal is with watercolor versus acrylics. In acrylics, oftentimes I get my darkest colors and my darkest values, and then I lighten and lighten and lighten and reveal, almost carve the painting out of the page. But in watercolor, it reminds me a lot of when I develop photographs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It just slowly reveals itself. And that is that I put my lightest colors in first.
Uh-huh.
I try to preserve my highlights, my whites, as many places as I can. And then I darken slowly, which is why in time-lapse, I think watercolor time-lapses are much prettier, in my little opinion, than acrylic time-lapses. And that is truly because of the way that watercolors are painted. So I'm keeping this paint. You'll notice I'm using a lot of water here.
Yeah.
to keep the pigment load, I'm going to paint a soft wash on this water line along the boat. Soft wash along the water line along the boat. I'm keeping it real light because I can always darken it.
Now, can I ask you what you're doing there with that little center tin?
This center tin.
Yeah, I see you keep dipping and then dipping in there.
Okay, so I pulled a little pigment out here.
Yeah.
And it's just to get me a little control of the pigment that's loading into my brush. This is actually supposed to be, okay, so this is a professional travel water kit.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to hang off the side and hold water for me.
Oh.
But what I tend to do is I tend to be like, oh, if you could just hold my paint here for me for a second, that would be really useful.
You're just using it as a little mixing station.
Well, yeah, and just to control where my pigment is loading and then...
Oh, okay.
And I'm just very carefully tipping my brush to the side and leaving him light because I've got to come in with some different values. And it's with a, when you guys do my paintings, my acrylic paintings, and try to do them in watercolor, everything I tell you to do in the painting is really wrong for watercolor. Would be okay for gouache, maybe egg tempera, not so much oils. And so sometimes you guys like, it didn't really come out. And I'm like, well, because that would never work in watercolor. So I thought it'd be really interesting, especially since I was going to just do a time lapse of this piece.
Yeah.
To just sort of talk about what's going on. So see, like in the time lapse, if I just done this time lapse when the paper went a wonky on me,
yeah,
you would have never seen it. I would have just worked it out.
That's true.
And it would have seemed like nothing had been afoot. But it had. I'm going to make sure that my lightest values are up here, and it's going to get deeper in this water as we go down. And I'm pulling the deep.
I'm reading comments out here. I noticed we had a lot of first time live viewers with us.
Really? Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, first time live viewers. Hi. It's like this. It's shenanigans.
It is. Well, and I'm really curious because a lot of them say that that they paint along at home, and this they really try. They're real excited about coming, and it's the first time they make it to the live events. So I'm really excited when they come, but also because this sort of indicates that there's a bunch of people at home watching these that haven't yet come to a live event.
I know, that's sort of interesting too, and hopefully we'll see more and more. Make sure I don't mess up my mic. More and more people.
Yeah.
Remember, the privilege of being here on a live event is you get to ask these questions in real time.
Yeah.
When you're like, what are you doing? Sometimes I don't know. On time lapses, a lot of times I come in a little bit looser when I'm planning them, and I don't know what I'm doing before I do it. I kind of work it out on the fly. So that's another thing. You're kind of like, this would be more like one of my periscopes where I'm working it on the fly. Notice how much I come in, I dip, and I go to the side.
We can kind of see the dipping. The dipping is a little off the screen there.
I'm going to move it in just a little bit.
Oh, that's so much
just
better.
so you can kind of see the frequency, because it's so different than what I would do. And I'm thinning this out, and I want to wash. In watercolor, it is exactly like acrylic in that the pro paints versus the student paint sometimes is about the archivalness and the quality of the pigments.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I'm going to thank our moderators who are out there today. They're all helping out. We have lots of Sherpettes out there chatting away.
Yellow.
It's so much fun.
Sherpas, I'm just pulling some weird yellow into this.
Oh.
Why? I think it'll look pretty. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Hi, Sherpettes.
So I'm chatting away over there. I see we have Maricha just came in there, and I see Kim.
Maricha is Corella DeVille in the collab.
I know, and I see Mark.
Mark is the Cheshire Cat.
And then other Mark.
Other Mark is, okay, so one of the Marks is the Headless Horseman, and one of the Marks is Cheshire Cat.
And then there's Angela.
Angela is Maleficent.
And
which is just so funny if you know Angela at all. She's at home going, I could be evil. It's in me.
I think it's my
If I was not so adorable, I would be completely evil. But I'm too cute.
I feel like I'm making my romper room roll call.
Are you?
Because everyone's this here out. Saying hello this morning. So no, it's really cool. People are saying that they enjoy the live. Melanie was saying, she just commented, she said, I love the shenanigans, goof ups, and total wackiness.
Oh yeah. We got shenanigans here.
Yeah.
If you were looking for a tight show with no shenanigans or chatting, Well, you have wandered into the wrong show.
Look, Audie's here too.
Audie was the evil queen, the one from Snow White.
Uh-huh.
I should know this because I just had to watch Wicked with Honey like a gazillion times. It should be like just rolling off the top of my tongue. So I'm pulling this magenta from over here over to the side, and I'm going to grab my deep blue, and I'm working it and getting a kind of a nice purple. And I'm going to pull some of that in here. And I work the edge of my brush lot. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but I work this edge instead of the whole brush.
That's what I'm trying to get a little... I've got that overhead cam just a little dimmer because so it can pick up some of the some of the detailed lines.
Yeah? Is that working?
It is. It's just, it's I need a camera with more stops of light.
Do we need to put the GoPro on there?
Unfortunately, the GoPro is... It isn't directly compatible with commercial switchers. So,
oh man, the GoPro makes such good pictures too.
Yeah, and what I really need to do is just get some more. I need to get some professional cameras.
Any professional,
We start with the one.
What we're hoping is if we make a whole bunch of live videos and then go to VidCon, maybe somebody will just gift us one.
Black Magic come over and say, you guys do live so much.
They do that at VidCon. So I'm pulling a lot of the purple here, and I'm just trying to keep my little funny little alligator here kind of just preserved. I would not use Frisket on this particular paper. It would tear it up. Even with the ground. But now I have to know how this paper does with ground.
So I have to scroll over. There's a bunch of questions that are coming in here. The chat's scrolling right along today, so I'm kind of having.
I'm up for answering any questions. I've never used this crazy paper before. The bleed through isn't that bad. This sheet's only done a little bit of protection, so as long as I don't get crazy with my wash, which I would on 300-pound Arches paper, you guys would see me go to town.
Now, could our community would like to know? Can we water down acrylic to get to use instead of?
So what it is with acrylic, you can put out acrylic and you can water it down like watercolors. The better your acrylic, the better result you will get with that because the pigment loads will be really high.
Yeah.
What it is that in watercolors, there's this sort of, I can keep moving the paint around the paper with water and I can lift. So I can kind of maneuver it where it is once it's in with the acrylic, it's down. However, I could keep layering my colors and still pull an incredible painting out of it with the acrylic.
Now, next time you go to let that dry a little bit, they'd like to see that book again. Just the paper that you're working off of. 'Cause I think that's so pretty.
So this is the cover. I love it. And this is, I have a thing for handmade papers. I actually have some artists that I'm in my art group with that's their art, is they hand make and hand sew papers. It's crazy. And I've just always had a fascination for that. So this book was entirely these handmade papers. And the paper is heavy, but it's not tightly woven so that the water is kind of really embedding into the paper. Kind of like a cloth. It's like painting a cloth.
Yeah.
Very much. On this, I'm not even dissuaded, though. I'm going to fill this whole book with art. That's what I'm going to do. That'll be cool. Maybe. I'm excited about it. And, again, what the book is in the link, and it comes in all kinds of sizes. And what I would say is it's responding very much like cloth, so mediums and things that you were going to do with it, I would definitely be aware of that. I get some bleed, though.
So, Robert's wanting to know how to get over artist block.
Oh, Robert.
I was going to say jump. Archer's block paper isn't that big. You can just jump right over it.
So, the best thing to do, we actually had a creative quest where we had Lindsay and Angela Anderson and Chuck Carson, and we all talked about our different methods. Artists generally develop on how they get over block. Chuck and I, who work almost daily, we're kind of like, well, I'm just so busy. Lindsay, same thing, so busy that it's like I just accept that every so many paintings it's going to be terrible. maybe today is that day.
Yeah.
Right? And you just kind of accept that every so often it's not going to gel, and then it'll resolve and it'll start getting good again. Some other really great tips were Chuck Carson likes to buy new art material. Angela Anderson suggested taking on a new medium.
I think going to a museum.
I think going to a museum and getting inspired. I really like going out for art walks.
Yeah.
That's my big pop. I'll go out to, Second Saturdays and go see what other awesome people did and get really inspired. Sometimes it helps, just changing your state and looking at other art can help.
Hey, and speaking of, someone just asked about Art Game.
Art Game. I gave you some words.
We have a bunch of words about
That's
Art
right.
Game.
Those were Lisa and Angela Anderson in the Sherpa chat had... I don't know why they had all those words there, but I kidnapped those words. I didn't even ask Angela's permission. I just took them.
Well, if anybody has some
I switched to my included Cotman brush. This is the Winsor Newton No. 5 brush that goes in the field kit.
Yeah.
This is the kit, like if I was out hanging out with Nicolera, this is the kit I would bring.
Well, today I think we're just gonna put the words in chat today. We're gonna try that today, and then because our dial-in system only works for U.S. people. We have a lot of people from outside.
Yeah,
so we're going to switch over to a system that allows everybody to come in. But Mona's been pinging me here. We had a shout out request.
Did we?
Mary would like a shout out.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
And hi Mona. Thank you.
Hi, Mona. Hi, Mary.
And let's see who I saw. There was some other stuff here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Flame recently went to the museum. She said that was very inspirational.
Yeah, I remember Flame going to the museum. She went to go see a particular painting, actually, that they had taken out of storage.
Yep.
Your museums do that. I don't know if you guys all know that, but your museums have a bunch of artwork in storage, and then every once in a while they take it out and let you see it.
And what's funny is now, given the modern construct of our society, there's a lot of people with selfies of famous paintings.
That's so true.
Isn't that crazy?
I have some of those.
I know, I do too. But I mean, it's just kind of funny that,
I'm just pointing out that I'm pulling small amounts of pigment out and then taking it to center and just working it very lightly. I'm trying to stay within the confines of this very, very absorbent paper. I could probably do this on a paper towel, which is sort of sad, but I could. Or napkin. It would be very similar if I was painting a napkin. And that's why I'm approaching dispensing the pigment very cautiously in small bits, because I know it's really going to be in there once it's in there.
All right, so
I'm sharing that.
I'm going to give the first art game word. You want to describe how Art Game is played?
So Art Game is you will receive 5 words. Sometimes 6, but 5 words, and you try to keep it to about 30 minutes. That's just so you don't get wrapped up all day in trying to be perfect. Yeah. And you do a doodle of whatever those words mean to you. The idea behind Art Game is actually that's a creative tool to keep those creative muscles flexible and keep you imaginative and get you out of your box and break down fear walls, and also because it's a lot of fun. And you can post it on the Art Game on Facebook, on our webpage, on the Heart Party page. Our game can go anywhere. Right. Something I want to share that I'm doing here before you give the word.
First word is tooth.
Tooth.
Oh,
that's a good word for today.
I know, that's why. So I'm going to get that out there just so they can have their first word.
Okay, first word is tooth.
Right,
work on that for a little while, guys at home. I just wanted to share, so what I'm doing, I've got this weird paper, right?
Yeah.
If you ever have weird paper. And I've loaded my brush. It's got a fairly medium fluid load in it, which a medium one is it's not dry, it's fairly moist, but it's not dripping. And I'm just touching it to the paper on the tip, and what that's doing is allowing the paper to wick the moisture and pigment out of the brush. I don't know if that's helpful, but that's something that I do if I get if I have a surprise kind of experience with my paper. It's a thing that I do. That would be true if you were doing acrylic or watercolor. I love my little travel kit. Wonder if anybody else is like, "Ooh, look at your little travel kit." I always have one of these.
I'm always envious of watercolorers and those cool little kits because they can just throw down watercolor.
Yeah, like anywhere.
I mean, like in their in the artist's mind, they have this backpack with a cool easel in it, and they whip out the watercolor, and they're plein air painting. Is that what they do?
True. So true. I love having this just to whip out and enjoy. I'm just like kind of pulling little deeper amounts of pigment, and I'm looking for little spots that I can pull it into and define my story. Like you'll notice I'm traveling along my purple here.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping it, in this sort of vertical story, which sort of makes it feel a little bit like water. Some of what's going to make it feel like water is it's got to get darker and greener down here, but just getting this first layer in. If that's interesting, I don't know.
That is interesting. Well, see, I always loved the idea of watercolor. See, I was always unsuccessful at most artistic expression except for like sculpture.
That's not true. Your art was just fine. Always. Always. I loved your turtle.
Well, yeah, that was
Mecca,
that's not
the
really,
city, and
those were all like student study stuff, but not.
it's all valid, right?
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, it's like it's one thing to like say, here you're taking an art course, so draw this thing, and that like be the one representative. Like I drew once in a class and made this.
You know what? You still did.
But I mean, yeah, that's more.
I'm gonna pull my little green out here and a little of my yellow. I don't worry that much about corrupting my little pan here with my paint.
They seem to be pretty like resilient that way.
Oh, yeah, they are. This is super resilient.
Like you can just wash it off.
There's a really fantastic video, The Three Amigos, and the guy starts out just painting a city with like the leftover paint on a watercolor palette. He doesn't even care. He's like, I don't know, some color. Yeah. And I think that really sums up the watercolor experience, that there's this little level of not having to be too concerned about it.
Yeah, we're going to have to do an episode where we pull out some of our sculpture stuff.
I think so.
And show that. Everyone was asking about it.
Well, I would be happy to show some of our sculpture stuff. I love sculpting with you.
That's something that over the summer I was thinking it might be fun to do, is get a forge going.
Ooh, we doing bronze again?
Well, I'd start with aluminum, maybe get to bronze.
Shh. Go full bronze. No aluminium. I'm kind of running this little line here I hadn't really designed it out, and I'm going to come back later, but I just want to
So Brad is
have
with
it
us.
now. Hi, Brad.
Brad Graham?
Brad Graham. How's Brad Graham doing?
I don't know. Everyone said, hi, Brad. That's why I said, hi, Brad. How are you?
So I got a little dark here, but I'm going to keep this mostly lighter up here. And I'm going to start pulling the dark up. What I would normally be doing this is dripping this down. Like Laura Zombie would be dripping it all down, splattering it. But because this paint is so absorbent, I'm doubtful of its drippability. I've lost confidence in its drip, is what has happened here. Because of Angela Anderson, I have a Deerfoot stippler in there.
Oh, that's my second favorite brush after the filbert.
After the filbert.
Yeah, because I think the filbert needs to be made into a puppet.
I'm going to pull this green out that's a little more... I think this actually is a phthalo in this kit, and then pull some of this deep blue out. And feels fairly aquatic. Where Neverland is. And I'm going to start telling the story of this deep water. Like you do.
Can you scoot that up a little bit?
I can.
Just a touch there. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Okay. Wherever you need me to put it, because this is an experiment. So, guys, we're working this out. And, I know sometimes you guys worry about giving us feedback about the camera angles or sound or anything. But it actually helps us adjust. Some stuff we can do, sometimes stuff we can't do. Because, budget. But where it's just, elbow grease, we can totally do.
So, could you field a quick technical question?
I think I can. I hope so.
So, one of our community members, let me scroll up here. It was...
just pulling this dark color up. Very careful.
Gravi, I think her name is. I think so. Gravi says that she had tried to draw on a canvas with pencil, and the problem is that when it rubs, it smudges, and she can't erase it. It smudges. What can be done for pencil on canvas?
Like to get it off or to get it controlled?
Cover it.
All right. If you're still trying, if you haven't started painting and it's not bleeding through your paint, you're just at the sketching stage. You can reclaim the canvas by putting down a coat of GAC 100 by Golden and then regessoing. That will for sure give you the seal. I'm going to try to come along his little claw here.
But generally try using watercolor pencils or chalk.
Yeah, generally just try to use stuff that's going to disappear or is somehow complementary to what your finished piece is. So, like, that's what a number study would be. It'd be like a whole tonal study in umber, like in paint. But that's complementary to your finished work. And you could get that with pencil, intentionally let it bleed through, but it's a thing.
I swear, that's the second time somebody's used that. Brad just said nobody puts baby in the corner. That's the second time I've heard the Dirty Dancing reference this week. I don't know why.
It's on this week. It's trending.
It must be. It's trending. So Dirty Dancing.
Trending. Not as much as that guy who vlogs, but other than that, pretty still trending.
Oh, yeah. Casey?
Yeah.
Like everybody in the world seems to watch him.
Yeah.
Although he makes really cool 2 to 5 minute videos.
2 to 5 minute videos. You don't even have to worry about it. You're in and out with Casey.
Not here.
Here, you're committed. You've signed up for something. Hopefully this is showing up as fully rich as it is in color. Is it coming out on the color? Can we?
Yeah, that's why I've got the two cameras adjusted differently. So
I'm just trying to pull this in and not wear out the paper because I'm in this unexpected paper experience now.
Which is interesting to see.
I hope it's interesting to see.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, it's still holding. I'm going to pull some more of this.
Yeah, when you're here, you're in for the full shenanigans.
You're in for the shenanigans. The shenanigans. I don't know if you're waving at me or adjusting your hat.
Adjusting my hat currently.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes John tries to give me hand signals.
You'd think I'd be better at those hand signal things. Nope, no good.
This, because of the paper, has gone from being a very quick project to a let's think about it project.
I'm gonna have to say thank you to to Lisa, because she always reminds me. Guys, I so appreciate all of the viewers who come out here with us live. Yeah. It makes such a big difference when you guys are here and you're hanging out with us. And we really appreciate it if you could comment, and subscribe. Share these with your friends. It really makes a difference. Helps get the word out there. Lets everybody know that you guys are here and having a good time. No,
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing the parade wave for some reason while painting. And this is going to have a hot mess moment, guys. I won't even lie to you. And usually watercolors don't. Watercolors are just prettiest, and then they're done. But because of this paper, I'm kind of working some things out.
So I see a question that's come up that's very unusual.
I will try to answer it as I try not to destroy my painting.
It says, John, Renee needs to know how not to make brown with yellow and purple. I'm like, oh, man.
How not to make grayed out colors. Well, they're contrast. So the whole purpose of painting them together is to get a grayed out color.
Yeah.
So you are going to get a grayed out color. However, I paint with purple and yellow all the time. And the trick is to just tint or tone or shade using small amounts. Don't mix a 1-to-1. You're just going to get gray. But if you were to say take a small amount of yellow ochre and dog's name purple and work them together, you can get some beautiful colors.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So it's in moderation. But you go crazy with it, you're going to get gray. It's going to go gray. Because that's its job. I'm going to have to get... You know what? I'm sure Maricha knows because she's so hooked up on all the paint suppliers, but these little half pints. You get to paint until you're out of a color in these.
In those little things?
Yeah.
And they're not refillable?
I think that they are. I just never source them easily.
Oh, yeah. Probably buy individual little paint pots.
So I'm trying to kind of create this feeling of deep water You can see I'm kind of like trundling up and like, oh. You know what this reminds me of is those crystal and rock structures that we used to grow.
Oh yeah, you get the little kit and you put them in the thing of water, and they would grow little stalagmites.
Hard in YouTube to even sell those kind of kits anymore because they've got those science channels that are so bananas.
I have to go check it out.
Did you actually manage to switch when I looked up? Are you that good now?
No.
No?
No.
Was he that good?
No.
It's okay. I'm noticing like on the alligator references, I'm going to be... You did! You're so good! Okay, are you just watching me now? You're not even switching. I can't tell.
We just are, because I know you. I'm sure we're just watching you now.
That's fine. You gotta have a little fun. You have to have a little fun in your life, right? You gotta just relax a little bit and lighten up. You gotta. I know we're gonna be doing some Shopkins for the little brushes out there because I've been getting requests and my daughter's gotten all sucked into Shopkins. So that's gonna be a great mommy and me paint day.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up on those trends. So hard as a parent. Right. Right.
Yep.
Add some purple to this. I'm using the magenta.
But you know those little crystals.
Yeah.
They grow those stalagmites.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could get that in like a 50-pound bag,
Uh-huh.
and then go like pour it into somebody's pool. Come out the next day.
If our neighbor
and
was
there's
watching, like we're gonna see everybody move away from us. They'll be like, "Oh, we gotta get away from those people. They're gonna put some crystals in our pool."
They should have, that's a YouTube video. What happens when 50 pounds of magic stalagmite material gets thrown into a pool? It grows a really big stalagmite.
That's how we'll finally get a viral video. That's what we'll do is we'll grow some stalactites in a pool. Mites. Can't remember which one. Ceiling is one and floor is the other.
Stalagmites grow from the ground. Stalactites hang from the ceiling.
That's right. I toured the Carlsbad Caverns too.
We have pictures of us in there.
And that other one we like to go to, the local one,
There's the magic. There's the
something caverns, the local ones with the zebras that have the gaping maws.
Oh, that's up in West Texas.
Yeah.
Or Central Texas.
That was fun. Back when we had the pop-up camper.
Yeah, we need to do more camping.
Everybody needs to do more camping.
Although I think we need to do some glamping.
I love glamping.
Yeah.
Please leave me alone with the camper, and I will paint it all up.
We need to find an RV that we can convert. It'd be really cool to find like a panther.
Oh, yeah, it would be really cool to get.
We really like the safari line of RVs. Looked at a panther RV.
I don't know how mechanically reliable they are, but those airbrush paintings on the back are so
awesome. They sold us on it. Although really, we just at this point we're just going to probably get an RV, something that we can pull our little van behind, and then just go painting around the country.
Then just go painting. We'll go paint now. We're gonna go paint now, and for some reason I'm like a Stephen King character.
Next art word. Okay.
Okay.
Carlsbad Caverns. That's the words. I just saw that. Angela. So the next word, I'm going to scroll up.
Was not Carlsbad Caverns.
Not
That was a little
Carlsbad.
confusing.
No.
Don't worry, guys. You don't have to like Google Carlsbad Caverns. Though, that's the champion edition of the art game.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just making that up. All right. Well, I feel like I've told some water story here.
Have you? All right.
I don't know. Do you guys? I feel like I have. I'm looking at this, and I think that I'm gonna have to do this differently. So I've got this guy up here, right? I've now got to tell a story in, and I know I've got this uber absorbent paper that's going to be giving me grief. I'm gonna grab some of this weird peach color that I have just sort of sitting on my palette.
All right. So our next word is ring.
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 When a little bluebird. Sorry, don't want to get content ID'd. Not that I could sing Cole Porter well enough to get content ID'd. Always in watercolor. On occasion, just take yummy bits of color from your palette and put it on your paper.
Yeah.
Yep.
So our two words are tooth and ring.
Tooth and ring.
Tooth and ring.
Could you reheat my coffee, my darling?
I can.
My lovely, my sweetie pie. Would appreciate it so much so I can power through.
All right.
Let's see how that paper's doing. It's still here. You know, one thing I'll say about it is it wrinkles like cloth, but it doesn't do the curl. I don't have to tape it down. I'll talk so I can have my coffee. Can I talk? I have to sippy my coffee in the morning. I have to do that. No, so I'm enjoying this book a lot, but definitely this paper is a challenge. And so we're going to have to meet back up, and I'm going to have to show you how a ground would fix this crazy paper. Because I have a belief. Now I have to test that out. I have a belief that the Daniel Smith ground will fix this crazy paper. Golden makes him one too that's called an absorbent ground. Also, and these things, like they make it so you can paint on a rock, and you can paint on glass, and you can paint on wood, and you can do all kinds of things. In my regular fine art, I use a lot of ground so that my paint stabilizes when I am being experimental and maybe painting outside of the confines of what they'd want you to do. Stunt hands, as per the paint company's description. Oh, by the way, the comments you guys have been leaving on the YouTube channel and on Facebook and on everywhere, they're so good. On messages on the Heart Party page on Facebook, if I'm not getting to your message, I'm not even ignoring you. There's some weird deal with that now where it won't let me scroll back. It just gives me the 3 dots of death and never lets me go back.
Never?
No, I don't know. I've got a message into them. Just I can't get
even
back.
know.
It's not that I'm not I'm not at all not urgently trying to get to you. I am. But I can't get past the 3 dots of death. You know what I'm talking about? 3 dots of death. Dot, 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 dot.
So everyone's saying that it's better when they get more words at once. So I was going to maybe throw out another word.
Rachel will be like, no, that is not appropriate use of art game. I'm going to pull out this oval mop. This is an oval mop. You would never, ever, ever, ever use this brush ever in acrylic painting. But except when you would. we're gonna do it right now.
All right. So I'm going to throw out the next word. We'll use yo-yo.
Yo-yo?
Yo-yo.
Yo-yo, yo-yo.
So we can get some more words going. Yo-yo.
Yo-yo. I'm gonna take some brown, this kind of burnt sienna, and I'm going to take it over to my purple. So we're actually kind of doing what we were talking about earlier. We're graying that purple a little bit. And I'm going to get just a wash. So funny. And I'm going to try to come here and just tell a little, a little washy story.
Mark is like, no, you must obey the rules.
Is Mark Mark has been in art games since
has.
Art Games started on Skype. I think
Yes.
that's when we really got to know Mark.
He actually he holds the rules of Art Game and is saying that I'm breaking them.
It's probably true.
So I'll have to... we got our 3 words out there. Tooth ring and yo-yo.
Tooth ring and yo-yo, yo-yo, yo-yo. Sorry. That's not appropriate.
For yo-yo?
I'm just trying to paint this crazy sky with this paper.
Well, anybody who knows me knows that I use yo in like all my emails. I think the Beastie Boys broke me.
The Beastie Boys broke you?
Yeah.
Are we back with Karen on doing some...
Yes. I've got another couple CDs that I got on order. But this was the most...
Oh, does she have more?
No, from other folks. Other different music pieces. But this has been really nice for today.
Oh, yeah.
And a soft
because we're
background.
trying to chill out. And...
Yeah.
Did we ever find a quote?
We did. Oh, Lisa had a quote up here that it's scrolled past me now, but I'm sure that she'll put it back up there. I thought that you had found yours.
Oh, I did. I did find my quote.
Yeah.
That's right. I found my quote.
And
I'm okay.
she had a great one, too, that she had posted up here that I...
I'm just trying to loosely tell a little watercolor story up here in the sky.
It's looking really cool.
Now, because I know I'm going to be such a dark color on Hook, I can paint into Hook a little bit. It's going to be dried out by the time I get back here. And the less you do in watercolor, the easier it is to get like a sky. So I'm kind of trying to tell a stormy sky story here.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I'm doing. I'm getting all these different weird little colors. Get some brown in there. Using my little water plot incorrectly. Just trying to see. I'm kind of creating like just these lines of shade and color.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little cloud bank here along the sky. The trick to cloud bank is to vary up your up and down so that you're not cloning shapes. There you go. That's all I'm going to do up there because I feel like if I do much more until it said, now that started to bleed through a little bit. It did. But we stopped it.
Gotcha.
We're still here painting. I hope that's okay.
So that
normally I would be done with the watercolor by now.
Lisa has that quote here for me.
Oh, what's the quote?
It says, "I suppose it's like the ticking crocodile, isn't it? Time is chasing after all of us."
Oh, that's a good one. Might run at that along here.
Oh, it could be good.
Could be good. Now I'm going to start looking at my crocodile.
He's like,
come here and... So, you can mix here, but I get all crazy. So I'm going to start painting in Mr. Croc. He needs a little paint. And again, I'm going to have to do him really differently here, John, than I did originally because of this paper.
oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I don't know what that's going to be like.
It'll be different.
It will be different. So I am reviewing the handmade art book now, and I didn't know I was going to be today. I'm inclined to figure out how to power through and make it work because the look and feel of the book is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure Stephanie has probably done a tutorial or has some bookbinding wizardry, where she'd be like, you could just use render paper and get that same look without the problems. She's got some Instructables and a YouTube channel, and she's also one of my co-collaborators. Lady Tremaine. Is Stephanie at work today?
I
She might be.
don't know. There's a lot of people at work today who are. I'm actually watching. They're building right now. There is a group of people getting together on Skype, I think, to go do some chat. Oh, I think they're doing art game.
They're doing art game on Skype. Yeah, that's what they do. They meet up on Skype and do art game. Sometimes I'm on Skype and do art game. Not that frequently anymore, but sometimes. When I'm lucky enough to get an invite. Sometimes it's Google. I think it depends on how many people they have coming in. So this is a crocodile, not an alligator.
How do you know?
Well, besides the info video you made me watch today, it's because I did the narrow nose with the kind of little bulbous tip. But then you brought up the fourth tooth.
Fourth tooth.
That is on the outside instead of tucked on the inside. You know when it's eating you, I bet you don't even care.
You know.
I bet when this thing is chewing you up, you're not like, oh, this one has its fourth tooth on the outside. It must be a crocodile I'm being eaten by.
You know, strangely enough, we as Americans are the only ones who will even have this problem.
To be eaten by a crocodile or an alligator?
Yep.
Why?
But because only in Florida do these two species naturally coexist.
You really watched some videos, didn't you?
I did.
You did. You know what I watched today?
No.
Okay. I watched Tiny Houses. Which is like this thing where very young couples that haven't been together very long decide that they're going to live in a really tiny, cheap house that they build themselves.
Yeah.
So it's super fun to watch. You know, having been through building a house and, been married for a little bit. But there was this one couple, and they work in the film industry as set designers. Yeah. And their house, honestly, was the bomb diggity. The couple was gorgeous. Like, they were a beautiful couple. You couldn't even believe they were real people.
Yeah.
And their design skills were insane. Her art skills were insane. And his carpentry skills were insane. And they built this house that, like, could roll behind them, but was like the steampunk dream. And they had repurposed things from sets because they didn't want anything to go to a landfill.
Everybody seems to know exactly what you're talking about except me, because they all love it.
Oh, they know? Okay,
yeah.
So good. I was so into this couple. I was like, they had a pet rabbit.
Everybody seems to completely agree with you and know exactly what you're talking about, except me.
Well, it's because you didn't watch. You were working.
I was doing YouTube training.
You were doing YouTube training, whereas I was doing commentary research. We could say that. But mostly I was just watching TV like I do.
You were doing pop culture research to make
that's
sure
that's
we
what
had
it is. That's what we call my TV now, is pop culture research.
So that she has topical conversation to have on our show.
Well, I was going to talk to you about it anyways. We just happened to be doing the show.
Yeah. At least now we can talk about it and I cannot get paid for it.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, so I watched a few of these, and most of the couples were like over budget, over time. Everybody, for some reason, starts one of these houses in the dead of winter. I don't get that. Like, start your house in the spring. Why are you building in the dead of winter when you live in Michigan?
You know, I have
like,
to say,
you knew the snow was coming, right?
The best show for home improvement, though, was Balky's.
That was such a good show. What was going on with that guy?
I don't know, but that dude knows some.
He knows some stuff. I don't know about the acting thing, right? Like, he was pretty good at that, but his building know-how.
Yeah.
Like, he can explain his crazy on another level.
Yeah, he knew some stuff there.
He knows it. I'm just trying to get this painted in. I'm using this little... It's so easy. These detail brushes don't even have to be that good. So, with watercolor brushes, the quality of the brush is how predictably it releases water. And pulls pigment in, but honestly it doesn't take that good of a brush to get a pretty good result. Though it's like anything else, you fall in love with particular tools. Just getting this little base green on, because he needs green.
Yeah.
What?
Judy said, "Stop laughing just long enough to add a thumbs up." I appreciate that.
Do you remember when he did that room with all the statuaries?
Balky?
Yeah.
I remember when he did the inside out room too.
I think if you were like a woman in that town and you were dating him, that would be a little scary, right?
I'm
just saying, if it was like your second date and he's like, "Let me show you my building project." And you hadn't been a fan of the show, and you'd be looking around there going, "What's happening here?"
You're either a genius or you have a secret room
with people locked in it. And honestly, he probably could have and still run that show. And he hired
super talented, though.
Yeah, super talented. He hired all these people locally, and I think that had to be the most interesting project ever.
Well, that's what was awesome, is that he just recruited
locally
everyone. He was like, "Hey, you want to build a room? Let's build a room.
Oh, this post office could be cuter. Let's work this out."
Yeah.
I'm Balky, and I will buy a town.
Yeah. Seriously, if
just don't call me Balky. Sorry, I'm sure he doesn't care.
I'm sure he laughs all the way to the bank on that one.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. I have to craze this wall now.
Yeah.
And he really full on if I was on Millionaire and I had a lifeline and it was antique related, he would be my lifeline.
So
I don't have his number, but
so in Sweden they're playing a show called it's Aristocats. On the movie. I thought it was Artistocats, and I was like, ooh, there's some Swedish variation on Aristocats called Artistocats, but that was just my dyslexia. Being silly.
Silly.
Well, I also have to read these fast scrolling comments.
Sippy time to power up for the next level. How is he looking? I don't know how he looks on the camera. How's he looking?
Good. See, push forward.
Okay. I'm pushing forward. I think I got him back because I was painting into him, but I can push him forward now. It's pretty. I think when this book is full, I would not be painting the backside, so I think this book is going to be one side page.
Yeah.
For me.
Okay. Yeah.
I know serious art journalers, they'd be like, junk journal side page. But I'm going to just let this paper.
Yeah, it's okay. I think I like that one plate, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. So good.
So I have to wonder what, the Sweden house flipping shows look like.
There's a part of me that wants to giggle wildly, and I don't know why when you say that.
They're going to flip houses in Sweden.
They have to, right?
Yeah.
I'm grabbing the what is the close approximation of the phthalo green and the burnt sienna, and I'm making this sort of deeper green.
Probably have much better views.
Sweden, I'm sure, and Switzerland, better views than Houston, Texas, right? Love Houston, but you know, we don't have psychotically beautiful mountain landscape.
No.
So I'm going to start kind of generating like some shadow here and some just dimension and shape to him with this darker green. Now, because of the nature of this paper, unless I wanted to come back with a gouache or an acrylic, I would not get that highly detailed of a like scaling. I wouldn't be able to do hyperrealism on this paper without coming back with a high pigment paint.
So I think we're ready for another word.
No one's ready for another.
They're all ready for another word.
No,
So I'm going to go back up here. The next word, I'm going to go up here and look over here what our next word's going to be. Our next word.
I'm going to wash this here. While you're giving the word, I'm going to very lightly.
I'm looking at the words that we've already had and the words that have been suggested to see what the next good word should be. And how about we go with fox?
Ooh, I like that word.
Fox is good.
Somebody could do fox molder.
Ooh,
You don't know.
They could do fox molder.
You don't know.
So that's 4 words. That's tooth, ring, yo-yo, and fox. Dude, that is the makings of an X-Files episode.
It really is. Are you loving the new reboot of the X-Files? What are you feeling about it, babe?
I think it's been pretty cool. I've only caught a couple episodes, though.
No, we're all the way caught up.
Well, you were all the way caught up.
No, you're all the way caught up.
Am I?
Yep. I've kept you caught up. It's
That's-
X-Files. We have such family history with X-Files.
Well, yeah. I didn't realize that I had seen all of them.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I'm keeping you caught up. I'm not letting you fall behind on that one. Some of them I will let John just fall behind because he goes to sleep on me. I rub his feet every night. He rubs my feet every night. He goes to sleep on me. If you go to sleep on me, you miss the show. Especially if I don't notice and I'm rubbing your feet while you're sleeping. Sorry. Just saying, it's reality.
So those are 4 words so far: tooth, ring, yo-yo, and fox. We're gonna have, everyone was just asking. Not that I don't mind. We talk about feet rubbing too.
I'm just saying, you fall asleep.
Yeah, I do.
So if you miss out what's happening on the strain, that's how that happens.
That's true. I do.
I'm not going to keep him up on the strain. You got to
No.
stay awake for the strain. You can't stay awake for a horror movie. You're going to miss out the horror movie.
That's true. I sleep.
You sleep. I pulled a very dark green here. I'm creating this little shadow. Pull that out just a little bit. I'm just dabbing the tip of this brush. Trying to keep it sort of... I feel like I hear flippy flops. Do you
You
hear
do.
flip flops?
You do.
Is that Luna's flip flops?
Yeah.
What is she up to?
No, but seriously, I think we'll have to go check out Sweden one of these days because they got all the good, the good Baltic Sea exposure. So, yeah. Imagine that's got to be some pretty good coastland up there. Go check it all
Imagine.
out.
It looks like it's in a cold area.
Well, Norway got all the cold stuff.
Yeah,
know. And Finland has a little bit too, but Finland and Sweden kind of have that cool greeny, the better part of the icy.
You're
north.
thinking?
Well, just
I
anecdotally as from what I have seen, and
See, I haven't seen Sweden. I've seen Switzerland, but I haven't seen Sweden.
yeah, and I've seen a little bit of Norway and Sweden.
Been to Montreux.
So, yeah, I imagine the summer is awesome in Sweden.
So I'm
Mona
just
says it's great. So
trying to darken him up, and I'm letting him be kind of like deep sea. Look, and then can move this dark green here a little bit. That's watercolor, so you couldn't do that with acrylic.
yeah.
Could not move that color at all. It would be just like done. I'm just gonna come here and just sort of.
Oh yeah, and they're so far north. Remember how when we were living in Vancouver, how like the days in the summer were just
That was crazy. It was like 4 a.m. There was
forever.
light.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you guys do that in Vancouver? That was making me insane. I was
Well-
getting so fruity at the grocery store. I'm like, what time is it? Why is it bright outside?
Well, they're even farther north there in most of Sweden than we were in Vancouver.
Right?
So the most southern part of Sweden is just right about where we were in Vancouver. Although, for reference, Houston is on the same latitude as Cairo. So
Houston, Cairo, same thing.
it's like hot.
If you've been to Cairo, you've been to Houston, same thing.
More humid by a lot. It's a lot more humid here. It's just the water doesn't evaporate at all.
It just hangs in the air and fish swim in it. I've seen it. Just look outside. Is that a carp, darling?
It's a catfish.
That's a show that has Honey fascinated. She's like, how do people get catfished? She's like, they can just check out their... She's like, how come they can't tell? There's like an age of people, I think, that can be catfished. Mm-hmm. There's an age that can't. I think that's why all the new catfish contestants are like our age. Generation X still catfished. Some millennials.
Yeah.
But that's like pretty much it. So I'm just trying to create some modeling and dimensionality here that kind of say that it's a bumpy skin. Mm-hmm. I'm going to come back with my iron lock pen that we're so into and do some ink work on him to define him.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah. Well, I think with this soft paper, I'm just sort of dabbing the brush and letting it be interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that I have our last word for the day.
Last word for the day.
Yeah.
Sorry this painting is taking so long.
And we're going to go with, how about this one? Stalagmite.
Stalagmite.
That's a big word.
Stalagmite. I don't know why I'm talking like that.
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
We
I'm
have
having
nothing to
fun. Whatever else I am right now, I hope you're relaxed at home. I'm super relaxed at home. I hope you're taking this time and just really just unplugging from your day, visiting with your friends, and arting. Whether it's art game or, creating a Peter Pan treasure for some person in your life that's a Peter Pan fan. I hope some people create some Peter Pan treasures.
Yeah.
I'm going to get just this brown here. Pull this out here. And then I'm going to get some of this blue. What?
Elizabeth says, that's a bad word.
What's a bad word?
Stalagmite.
Oh, you didn't do a good job, and now you're going to get it.
Lol. They don't even know what the word is before. Some people don't know what it is, stalagmite, so that's tough for international.
Google.
Google. What is a stalagmite?
I have to Google international things.
It's a rock. It's a pretty rock.
So in the Creative Arts Collaboration, we have a pretty international membership.
Yep.
And every once in a while, they'll be like, hey, why don't we do like this kind of a holiday, like some holiday I've never heard of. So I have to Google all the time.
Yeah.
It works. No matter where. I'm just trying to create some of this dark patterning. You would see this in a crocodile, this sort of dark patterning.
Yep. So for those of you guys to do a quick heads up, a stalagmite is a cave formation. It is the rock that forms in the bottom of a cave where drips form, and it's the calcification buildup of drips at the bottom of a cave. So, and the idea behind these is to give you 5 random things, and in this case, a tooth, ring, yo-yo, fox, and stalagmite, to inspire you to draw something or create something that you otherwise wouldn't have, so that you can overcome that awful artist block.
And also just have fun.
And just have fun.
Remember, art is really on a really base level just for fun.
And remember, if you're having trouble getting over artist block, just jump higher.
Jump higher.
Jump higher.
Just paint. Doesn't have to be good. The act of painting is like, however this painting works out, we'll see how it does. However this painting works out, I will have received the benefits of it.
Yeah.
I will feel better and be delighted.
Ooh, Kirsten said that she's only about an hour away from Mammoth Cave.
Just putting some... What's nice about this absorbent paper is it just diffuses the pigment. But what's also bad about this absorbent paper is it diffuses the pigment. I don't know. I don't really have an art material that completely ever alienates me, unless it just doesn't function as it's supposed to. I'm always just sort of interested into seeing how it takes paint and then just working around it.
I'm always interested in fire.
Yeah, there's a group of artists that work in fire as medium.
Yeah.
Not a long-lived career.
So who made your
I'm
hat
just
today?
saying they don't have a longevity as a group. They die young and beautiful. And they work in fire. They're also kind of like crazy. Just saying. In studios, if you're sharing studios, that person who works in fire, everybody's like, watches them.
So who made your hat there?
I made my hat.
They were asking.
I made my hat.
Was that some hot glue craziness?
That was some hot glue craziness. I've got another one I'm making. I'm making a Shopkins hat on camo really soon.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I feel like he's kind of there. Like he's in. He's got a little dimensionality. And I can't tighten him up that much because of the absorbency of the paper.
Well, that's okay. I kind of like him like that.
But
I think it looks neat.
I'm going to not even worry about that. I'm going to just... work it out there. I just, something you'll see me do, I do this all the time. I don't know if you guys ever do this. I pull the brush out, and I wring it out, and then I go back to lift paint.
Gotcha.
If you've never done it, you might not know you could do it. If you have an absorbent brush, that'll work really well. I put the teeth in later with that fluid paint. Okay, well, I don't really have black, so I'm going to have to just mix a really dark color. What, isn't that funny?
Just, my brain is tracking your conversation that you're having with me, and I'm also tracking a couple of them that are happening out here in the forums, and so every time my brain just sort of catches up with the conversations that are all happening, and it just makes me laugh. So
hopefully, can we see this one? Okay,
what
I don't
can
know.
you see? What are you doing?
I'm trying to paint in a hook, but the issue is my paper is much more wrinkly than. I'm going to switch to my small brush. Where did I put my small brush?
Do you want some of your grounds for under him?
Why is this little common brush? Oh, there it is.
Hey,
No, so
Lindsay's
the
there.
reason I haven't...
Lindsay just came in.
Hey, Lindsay.
Saw her scroll by there.
Lindsay.
And
No, I can't do a ground right now, though I do really think it'll correct for this paper. I can't do a ground because grounds really do require about a 24-hour drying period.
oh, I see.
So at the point when you're painting, you're thinking to yourself, just like I did here, what would be really useful right now? A ground. It's too late. That's like jumping out of a plane and saying, you know what would be really useful right now? Parachute. I'm going to pull my bracelet off so I can be a little more comfortable. So I'm just painting in his little silhouette. I've mixed my darkest blue, my umber, and my, I think this one's a phthalo green together to get that deep color. And I just don't have a black, and I'm just not going to worry about it. I just want to get him in. I am inclined to maybe work some of these clouds up here with some brighter pigments, but I might not. Depends on everybody's patience about the whole thing.
But I might not.
Well, if everyone's like, oh, we're just ready to be done, then I'll be like, don't worry about it. But if everyone's like, no, let's do that.
Well, right now there's a discussion. I think we went from stalagmites to marmot. Marmite.
They're not gonna paint it. They're gonna change the name on you. They've gone.
Just
It's
the
a
word,
mutiny.
Well, oh no, I think they're still painting what they're. I think the art game is still going.
It would be so funny if they mutinied on you. No, John. No.
We're just doing something else.
We're gonna do marmot. Everybody's feeling it.
Well, I didn't even know. I mean, I had heard of it and seen it before. But I just wasn't intimately familiar with what it is. It's a spread. It's kind of like jelly, but it's made from yeast instead. But I didn't know, so I just had to look it up, and I was like, huh, that's interesting stuff.
You learned a word.
I learned.
Google.
I learned about some stuff.
The information age is the coolest age to be an age part of. So I'm really working the tip of my brush here to get this little feather texture that I'm trying to imply.
And see, Elizabeth did that. She did the stalagmite. So I look forward to seeing hers. I'm gonna go look. So you have to post it up on the either our website, TheArtSherpa.com, or go to the Facebook site and post it up there, Elizabeth. I want to go check it out. So, and everybody else, please post them up. I want to see them.
So this is, again, the paper absorbency is really interesting here. It doesn't bleed out past where I want it to bleed, but it really pulls in. I have never painted on anything that reminded me so much of painting on a really good napkin, which I have done. I have painted with coffee on a really good napkin. Like, this is way before you. This never happened with you, but before you when dates would go really long and not be working out. A little napkin and a chewed up toothpick could get a lot done. And you're like, oh, this isn't working out. Oh, this restaurant has a very good napkin. And you're like, do you have any espresso or Turkish coffee? Concord grape jam. Excellent pigment.
Yep.
But never with you, darling.
Never with me.
No. Well, I mean, think about it. Do you ever remember seeing me paint on a napkin? And then if anyone's ever like dated me and is watching this show now, they're like, oh.
That's so funny.
I'm going to paint the lower part of the boat, but I want it to be lighter so that it has a more aquatic feel. And I may try to drip some of it down. I don't know. The paper has been really impossible to drip with. I'll still splatter it, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to drip it. But I feel like the hook silhouette worked out really well.
Mm.
So that's a good traceable, y'all. It's a good traceable. It's a good gator. It's a good traceable. All the multimedia people are like, yeah, this is not really a problem for me. I have intense pencils, and I got this, and I got this.
Yeah.
And so they're like, this is easy. But I'm such a simple girl. Such a simple girl. You know, so just so now we have this sort of basis for this painting in.
Yeah.
But now I can tweak. And it's sort of here in the tweaking that it all sort of comes together. Oh, what do you know? It's just like acrylic in that way. See how that went? And
yeah.
I didn't have that much bleed through. I just had one spot that really bled through. But I kind of really, really want... I just don't know if it's going to drip for me. I don't know if it'll do it.
Well, let's see.
I guess we can just... It kind of does.
Kind of does?
Well, it travels in a unexpected pathway, so I'm gonna control my drip. So the trick about a drip is you want it to feel like it's accidental, but go where you need it to go. And if it isn't, then you're gonna have to work it out. So I'm gonna have to just work it out.
Wow, we got onto languages, and
We did?
just in the chat over here. You know,
Okay.
whatever. And Dusty's husband speaks eight languages fluently,
Dusty, you tripped me out, girl.
and
You're awesome.
2 additional Indian dialects and Ukrainian.
So I need my videos closed captioned.
Wow. Yeah. So if you have some extra time on your hands, we could use some translation on our videos.
That'd be really cool.
No, but in seriousness, if you guys do speak another language and you're interested in helping out, we really are trying to get some of our videos in as many languages as possible.
Closed caption where we can. It really helps people.
Yeah.
I am just picking some color here to sort of travel along my little cloud just to give it some pigmentation. Not everywhere, just a little bit. Not everywhere, just a little bit. Just some color in this guy. I just feel like it's not Neverlandy yet. You know what I'm saying, John?
I'm pretty sure Mona just called me out there.
What did Mona say to you?
It's in Swedish, and I'm pretty sure it's that I need to learn to speak Swedish.
Well, you know,
Or,
all credit though, when like John was visiting me in France, like he had picked up French. Like I took it in school and really cared and you know, wanted to be able to talk to people and was running around, and John like came and
Flame's like, I know some Klingon.
good for you, Flame. These are important languages to know. And kind of just want a little extra color in my sky, if that makes sense to everybody. Just a little bit here and there.
Oh, she said that she can take the Swedish translation. So I wasn't terribly far off. I took 4 years of Latin and then some additional Catholic imparting of Latin. So I have a fairly robust root in the Romance languages.
Do you now? All right.
So where do you post the art game? Definitely up on TheArtSherpa.com or Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So
the yeah. I'm not answering that really well because I'm thinking.
What are you thinking about there?
I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to pull some teeth out. So I've got this detail brush.
What?
Yeah, and I'm going to just pull some terrifying chompers. I feel like that's an important part of this. So if I was really going to try to pull this up into a high vibrancy level on this paper, if I didn't have a ground to really, you know, take me there, I think that I might get those FW inks out as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, those look really cool.
And just work over the top of this on, you know, and layer. The trick with my gator teeth is I'm curving them, and
These are crocodile.
Crocodile teeth, sorry.
Not gators.
Well, that you wouldn't know until his mouth was closed, would you?
Oh, yeah, you would. Because the nose is different. And
also the size of this thing is a good indication.
Well, actually, crocodiles and alligators are relatively close in their full-grown size. Crocodiles can be larger, because they're also saltwater. They tend to go that crocodiles have a salt gland that helps them remove salt from their body, whereas alligators don't. So alligators can go into the salt water for short periods of time, but not as much. And that's why.
Again, all things that you're not thinking when one of these is swimming up on you.
I know. It's just...
Someone ink work him a little bit.
Swim faster is what I'm thinking.
I think that's a critical thing, is to get him ink worked. And I'm going to really do some work on this eye. Just define this here. So never let anything so say you're doing a project like happened to me today, and your paper behaves in a way that you didn't expect it to.
Yeah.
Don't let that freak you out. Just kind of lean into it. See what it's about. You know, maybe it works all out in the end. What's so funny? Some
of our community's like, John, you're like an encyclopedia of
it's
answers.
Just endless.
And I'm like, no, I just watch YouTube right before the show.
He does. He watches a lot of YouTube.
I just did some research to find out. So we would because I was thinking about it. I was like, well, how would I know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile if one was going to try to eat me? And I was like, well,
again, I think at the point that you are in the space where you're like, that is going to eat me, you've made some life decisions that are taking you where you should not be.
Well, and only in America do you even have this problem. So as an American, I figured I should learn which one might eat me and where.
Stay out of the bayou.
Yes. And that's basically it, is that, they are the largest living reptile on the planet. So think about that. They're pretty cool.
They are super cool, and in the wild, far, far away from binoculars, really beautiful animals.
Yeah. No, apparently, just having done some YouTube checking, people make these into pets, and apparently they're fairly intelligent. And
No, don't do that.
No, I know. I saw some video of a guy brushing their teeth,
Oh, no.
and it was like,
no.
dude.
Don't. Don't do it. It's not a good plan.
Well, I mean, like as long as the alligator was happy, then it was fine.
Yeah, sure. I'm adding a little highlight here to the eye.
Yeah, but I'm with Flame. They're dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, hungry dinosaurs. Hungry hippos. Like, takes out another level with the crocodiles. I'm going to give him a little nostril here. And I might take a little bit of my white and just dab a little scale texture. Okay, see that?
Yeah.
Just a little bit at the nose. That's close to the surface of the water, or maybe you might see a little texture, because it's all murky down here, right?
Yeah.
Things are murky for Mr. Hook. So just a little texture there. So it was really absorbent. It did some things I didn't expect it to do, but I survived. Like you do. And I think I'm going to leave this really soft, because it's working soft. Sometimes if something is working soft, leave it soft. And grab some blue here and a little of this magenta. And I'm going to splatter like you do.
Like you do?
Yeah, like you do. Couldn't get a drip going, but I can get a splatter going. And that's the important thing, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Just to be a little gruesome, I splattered some red. And it kind of went here, but I don't mind. I don't know. We got through that. I think this one I'm actually going to sign.
Well, I like it. Oh, there's some art games are going up.
And shall we add his quote?
Oh, so what is that acrylic white you're using?
That is acrylic fluid white.
Okay,
there's a white that comes in this kit, and I've got to wipe up what I put out. It's like a gouache. It's a little bit pigmented, but I would just generally go to gouache, but I don't have any out right now, and I have the acrylic fluid.
Okay, but that's everyone was wanting to know how you got that white to pop like that, and that's because it's a
I would have had
white.
to put out Frisket, which was the intention initially for the teeth and for the reflection in the eye, because I have a really cool new Frisket by Daniel Smith that I'm super excited about with detail tips, but I just don't have any belief this paper. Once I started painting and I realized it was so much like fabric, I just no belief that it was going to survive.
I'm really happy how that turned out, though. Can you hold that up a bit to the camera?
Oh,
once you're done signing it.
Is it upside down?
No. No, but just upside down in this one. I'm gonna come over
in
here.
the main camera?
I'm gonna come stunt hands it.
Stunt hands it, babe. I'll hold it up here, but I think it's reflective, so it's hard to say. So it's just, it feels like it's really so much light. I'm under an alien invasion right now. You guys have no idea how much light I'm under. Maybe you can zoom in with this one or something. I don't know. But it's beautiful, and I feel like this book filled up would be really magical.
So,
I don't know what anyone else's feeling is on like that.
Well, what is Frisket?
Frisket is a masking fluid, and there's different companies that are made by one. I used one the other day, which is the Misket one that you get at Michael's. I'm slightly allergic to latex, and I removed it with my fingers, so I paid for about a day. There is one made by Daniel Smith with a detail remover, and Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, told me that you could use a rubber cement pickup to get it off your page.
Oh, yeah?
So between those two things, I'm back in the Frisket game, baby.
Huh.
Between Lindsay's really good tip. Great place to check out good tips, the Frugal Crafter. Between Lindsay's really good tip and the Daniel Smith Frisket, I'm like kind of ready to get back into it. I feel like I'm so used to putting words in, but I think right now I would detract from this if I put a quote in.
You think so?
I don't know. What's your feeling?
Let me see. Let me look at that. I actually kind of like it the way it is too. I mean, I guess you could put a quote in there on the left-hand side there, but I kinda like
that
it.
had been my original intention, was to put one here, but I just feel that I've got to contend with this text. This is something you've got to do as an artist. You've got to think about these things like, I'm planning this, do the words add to the composition or
Yeah.
to the meaning of the piece? And I big fan of Basquiat, but I'm feeling like maybe in this case words won't improve it. And I think the next time I work with this, I'm going to get that ground out and maybe get the core watercolors out
Yeah.
and see if we can't improve the result. I think you could also paint on this with the acrylic if you put down some GAC and some gesso.
Oh, yeah.
I talk about that GAC stuff.
GAC.
I
We
gotta,
have to get
you know
some-
what? I've
we
got to
have
get
GAC.
an affiliate link to some GAC.
Well, yeah. We
I
put some-
can't use the GAC. I get a little headache.
It makes you gack.
It makes me gack, but it's a brilliant product. Brilliant.
So if the gack doesn't make you gack, you should use some.
You
gack.
just need a stunt gack.
Yeah, you just give it to your stunt gack.
Give it to your stunt gack,
That's
and then
right.
you can gack. If you're trying to also paint some weird material, that
Yeah.
you're not really sure what it's going to do with your paint, gack it.
You mean like if you were gonna paint, say,
I got so many gack jokes. You want to really pop this lid?
I don't. I don't. I think we're gonna. I think for all that is good and
I hope
Chris's
you're
sanity,
going to go
we're just
see
gonna leave
what
that
all
alone.
the other amazing artists did.
Yeah.
For this collaboration. There's some really wonderfully wicked artwork out there. I hope to see in my personal Facebook feed pieces of artwork that are inspired by what we did. You know, where you get your kind of own villain on. I think being a little bit wicked, just a little bit bad, is a good thing. Look, don't go wild. Don't go super villain. Don't create a league of villains and stuff, but just a little wicked.
Mm.
Just a little bit. Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree. I'm also
I-
reading comments,
You're reading comments.
but I agree. It's just a little bit of fun. Everybody should have a little bit of fun.
Little bit of fun. Little bit of fun. Have a little bit of wickedness in your life. Check out all the other wicked good things. iCard, comments.
And I want to say thank you to everybody who came out and joined us today. We have a huge audience here. A lot of people joining us. It was really fun. The chat was really great. And, you know, for all of you guys who are thinking of joining us on live at home, please do. And put a comment at home in this that says that you're thinking about joining us. Or that
If
you
you come on the
might
replay.
Or that you come on the replay.
Dude, if you come on the replay and you're still here,
yeah.
you're awesome.
Yeah, just let us know what you like about these. Because, you know, we want to...
Yeah, on the live, we all hang through because it's so funny the whole way through we're chatting. The chats on these shows are so much funnier than John and I. The chats are brilliant and hysterical and connected, and people have deep friendships. So it's really quite amazing. So if you come on the replay, though, and you make it to here, I want to see your hook. I want to see your hook. And
Yeah.
if any of you guys get the book, let me know.
Yes, absolutely. We want to see those. We want to see lots of watercolors in these books. So, and go check out all the other villains in all of the collaborations that are done here. We've got links below, and I've got a couple of them that I'm gonna go down and check. They said that one of them was not working right, so I'm gonna go check it real quick.
No, there's a link thing.
Yeah, we'll get.
There's a linky link thing, and it's a thing we've got going on.
Yeah, we're gonna get them all. We're gonna get all linked up.
We're working it out. We do what we can do. We try to these links. The YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow for Tree Frog. I haven't posted it yet,
Okay.
but there's a Tree Frog tomorrow. If you're on the replay, there's no sense of time on YouTube, so somewhere on the channel there's a Tree Frog. If you come on the replay years later, there's a Tree Frog if you like tree frogs. But tomorrow at 11 is a live Tree Frog.
Oh yeah, we gotta get that put in there.
Yep, I do.
Yep. You're slacking. Get those up there.
Slacking.
All right.
Slacking. All right, we'll see you guys at the easel really soon.
Love
We
you
love you.
guys.
Bye-bye.